Welcome to round 2 of the European Funny Car Series here at Sandspod Raceway and the FIA main event. Beautiful weather this weekend, a lot warmer than the cold weather we had at Easter for the first round of the Funny Car Series. So, racing's going to be hot and fast. Let's get to the action right now. So we've got huge crowds, bright sunshine, and for the first time this year, mild conditions, giving the promise of a warm, grippy racetrack. What's more, the main event is the first round of the 2013 FIA European Drag Racing Championship, featuring Pro Mods, Pro Stocks, Methanol Dragsters and Funny Cars, and of course, top fuel. So there's going to be a lot of rubber laid down on the new track surface over the next 4 days of the event, and no doubt some pretty wild rides as well. Well, we've got 6 Nitro Funny Cars entered this weekend, and of course, they're the cars that we'll be following through this webcast. One car to take a look at straight away is the Mustang of Round 1 winner, Jason Phelps, now sporting a brand new paint job.
The car, just wanted to bring it up, make it out. There's so many blue and black cars around, so we painted it orange, it's really nice. And also got Marshall back, which is really nice, and it's a cool sponsor. It looks really good on the car, makes everyone look nice around the pit. It's all good.
Well, this weekend also sees a welcome return to Sandspod of Sweden's Leif Hollander in the Saab-bodied Starcotter car. There's also Denmark's Henrik Christiansen as well, who'll be making licensing passes this weekend. And of course, we've also got fan favourite John Spuffard returning in the Showtime Mustang.
We've been having clutch issues, so we've come to this race trying to solve problems. We've also been given a really nice racetrack, which has given us another curve, and all the other teams. So we're all trying to work our way around that combination. There's 6 cars here this weekend for a 4-car field. So, you know, we've got to actually make sure this thing goes right now to actually be in the field. So, you know, it's a whole new perspective on funny car racing that we haven't had for so long that we're looking forward to.
And looking to make his first ever runs in competition this weekend is Kevin Kent, who completed his licensing procedure just 2 weeks before the event. So the scene is set and we're moving into qualifying session number 1. And first out is Jason Phelps. Well, Jason is running in the 2-car Shockwave team, and his crew are getting to grips with all the jobs that have to be done both at the track and during a run, and then coming back to the pits afterwards as well. That's the crew chief on both cars, Dave Bryant, just making the last minute adjustments. These cars really do produce 8,000 brake horsepower, and in such a short wheelbase car, they really are a handful. So Jason rolls forward to the line, first qualifying run of the weekend. Well, really nice and strong. Not entirely sure whether he clicked that off on purpose, but still a good start to the weekend for the team. Next up is John Spuffard and Gordy Smith. So here's John after a miserable outing at Easter, hoping for a lot better this time round. You can see the weather's much better. People wearing T-shirts as well, which is the first time we've seen that this year. The weather at Easter was so unbelievably cold to be running high horsepower nitro cars that no one could really get to grips with the racetrack. The event got completed, but not in the fashion a lot of people wanted. So this Showtime machine, tuned by Bob Jarrett, driven very, very capably by John Spuffard. The whole of the crew been working themselves to death, trying to get it ready, trying to get it to go down the racetrack in a good fashion. So this is qualifying. 6 cars are going to be trying to get into a 4-car show. It's going to be tough this weekend. Far lane, Gordy Smith with the Shockwave. Near lane, John Spuffard with the Showtime. Well, the clutch problems seem to be gone for John Spuffard, but almost too well. Blazed the tyres. Great start for Gordy Smith, though. Look at that. Really, really nice run in the mid-5s. Well, next up is Kevin Kent, but it looks like he's got problems.
Oh no, look, we've got someone going on here, look.
So I hold now, hold.
Hold, yeah. Alright.
Well, time for the first licensing run by Denmark's Henrik Christiansen. This car has been around in European drag racing before, but Henrik really trying to get to grips with one of the most difficult cars in all of drag racing to drive. 8,000 horsepower, really short wheelbase. Let's see how he does. Well, great launch for Henrik, but one car seems to be missing from this session. Here with Leif Olander with the Starkotter all the way from Sweden this weekend. Leif, you didn't make the first qualifying session. Any problems?
No, it was not a problem. It was we want to be sure that we have everything right, because this is the first time we started a car this year, and a couple of the guys had not seen the car since the final. So, and I changed a little with the ignition and that. So we said, we pass this one and go out next one. And
well, back in the pits, there's plenty of head scratching and searching for electrical gremlins going on around Kevin Kent's car, and problems also for Jason Phelps on that run. Here in the Fuel Funny Car pits with Jason Phelps, who was on a hell of a run until
The blower belt come off, probably about 500-600 foot, something like that. Yeah, no, the car was absolutely superb. It drifted a little bit to the left, but enjoying drifting it. And then I picked my trajectory, we're going for it, and just and your head hits the dashboard.
So it was a planned full run, but the car didn't let you.
Oh, I was planted, man. I was up for that. That was honestly to come out here. We got sunshine on the thing. The car hooked up, went straight. Lovely, lovely, lovely.
So moving on to the second of our 4 scheduled qualifying sessions here at the main event at Sanspod Raceway, and it looks like the Starkotter of Leif Olander and the West 10 Motorsport car of Kevin Kent are both going to be putting in runs this time round. Well, Kevin with a really nice burnout. He was in the mid-5s on both of his licensing runs, so he's definitely got enough in the car and himself as well to get in the show this weekend. This is his first time racing for real. Kevin's actually never raced in any other class in drag racing. This is the only thing he's ever driven, and what a job he's doing of it so far. Right, after all the troubles earlier on today, not starting the car, that must feel good.
You're very good. Yeah, just finally glad to get it down the track with these lovely conditions.
Yeah. Even with the pedal in a minute, it still ran real strong. You can go quicker too.
Yeah, that's it. We'll have to see what we get back when we get him back to the pits, but yeah, it looks good.
So Jason Phelps with a fresh blower belt installed. And Leif Olander making his first attempt of the weekend. Now, news from that run you just saw from Kevin Kent. Unfortunately for him and the team, that run was disqualified due to a technical infraction, but he's still got 2 more attempts later on in qualifying to try and get in the show. So, Jason's already in with a run he made earlier today. Leif Olander, this is his first attempt, but unfortunately problems for him on the line. He's been shut down. It will be Jason on his own. Now, Jason was on a really good run earlier, and that looks pretty good as well. That looked like a real nice run.
Yeah, that was the plan, to get out there and get down the track, make it from A to B reasonable and not hurt yourself, get us on the board. So. Yeah,
well, that's the good thing, because you've got to do that this weekend. You've got 3 cars already in the 5s, potentially another one coming up as well. You know, it's going to be tough.
Oh, yeah, it's good. Funny, this is where we want it. Funny car needs to be tough, you know, it's exciting racing.
Well, problems for our Danish friend Henrik Christensen on his second licensing pass. It's a very steep learning curve, and American John Smith is helping the team out this weekend.
Okay.
Just quick, John, sorry to catch you once again, John Smith. Any idea what went wrong for Henrik that time? Looked like a good burnout, but just didn't come back.
Well, the idle was a little high out there, and we think it wouldn't go into reverse. He did the smart thing, he shut it off, and we'll come back here tomorrow and try to get his license finished up.
Well, yeah, because it's looking real strong so far. Good first run today, just a real shame after all that effort as well.
Yeah, the new team, they're working at it, you know, and it's got a lot of good parts on it, and all these guys in competition to be the first 4-second run. I think it's going to, it'll happen here.
Yeah, well, you'll tune up in it as well.
Yeah, we're playing with it, just like my dad's car in the States.
Well, with 2 Nitro Funny cars, there's twice the work to do in the Shockwave pits.
Yeah, this is a quick car. I mean, everybody talks about John's car being real quick, and it is real quick, there's no doubt about that, but so's this. And we can match whatever they do and better it, I think. So we're looking forward to this weekend. Decent weather now. We can run real fast this weekend. We're just going to step up on it a bit tomorrow.
So after the first day's qualifying, Gordon's teammate Jason Phelps is currently in the number 1 spot.
Because we're qualified number 1, we're going to sit and wait and see what happens in the first session. If I go out, then we'll get ready to go out in the second session. depending on what times people run, is how hard we lean on the engine we've got to this afternoon. If everyone goes out and runs 20s and 30s, then we'll lean on the thing properly. If it's within our range at the moment, then we'll just, we'll do what we have to do to get into the show. Tonight we're going to change motors, whatever happens, whether we've hurt the engine or not, so that we've got a fresh engine to go have it tomorrow, basically. That's how it's going to work.
Well, day 2 of qualifying starts with sportsman racers out on the track as we move into session number 3 for the Nitro Funny Cars. All of our drivers need to put in solid runs now to get in the field, so this is really go fast or go home time today. And that man on the left-hand side of your screen, that's Kevin Kent. He's currently not qualified. Far lane Gordy Smith, he's quite well in the show at the moment, but no one's feeling comfortable because 5 cars that are licensed, qualifying for a 4-car show, all of them could run quick enough to get in, so somebody's going to be disappointed come race day tomorrow. So Gordon Smith's already put in a decent mid-time, so has Kevin Kent as well. He ran that 5.6, which was unfortunately disqualified. He's going to have to come out and make a pretty good run this time round as well. So Dave Bryant sends Gordy Smith on his way. Well, problems that time for Kevin Kent. Gordy Smith on a real nice strong run. Low ET of the weekend so far, down in the 5.4s. Well, another racer that hasn't put in a run yet this weekend is Leif Hollander, unfortunately for him. This will be his first full quarter-mile run up against John Spuffer. Now, John did put in a run yesterday, but it was only a 6 or 7 second time due to the fact he blazed the tyres at half-track. Let's hope Bob Jarrett and the team have found out what this car wants to get it all the way down the racetrack. Running over the full quarter-mile distance here at Sansapod. Very tricky to tune these cars, even in perfect conditions, but the new racetrack is getting better and better all the time. You can see in the grandstands and on the banking, there's an awful lot of people turned up to watch these guys do battle this weekend. So Bob Jarrett says, it's up to you, John. And here we go. Leif Hollander, John Spuffard. Well, John Spuffard blazes the tyres again. Leif Hollander on and off the throttle, but he goes quick enough to get in the show with a 5.71. So as we move into the crucial final qualifying session, it's rookie Kevin Kent who's on the outside looking in. So all the teams lined up ready for this final session. And it's going to be Kevin out first. Now, currently the bump is John Spuffard in the 6s. Kevin has run this weekend down into the 5s. Obviously, you're licensed in the 5s, so he can definitely do it. Let's see what the West 10 team have got for us on this last qualifying run. Can they get in the show? Well, a great looking launch. The car mixing up the cylinders. And he manages to get in the 5s and in the show for now. And you can see on the replay, drove it all the way through. And in the qualified field, this is John Spuffard. Can he get under that 5.80 time? Looks like a lot of popping and banging going on under there. What's John managed to run? 5.66.
Yeah, it worked out for us in the end. Kevin was on the bump spot. He ran in front of us. We see what he'd done. I knew what I had to do. We made some big changes on the car as well. We seem to have got that now right on where we need it. You know, Bob's done a lot of computer work overnight. So I'm pretty convinced now that we've got a baseline now, so we should be able to improve.
Well, no matter what Leif Hollander runs on his last qualifying run, it's going to be Gordon, Jason, John and Leif going through into eliminations. Let's see what the Swede has on his last qualifying run. Well, a very bouncy looking 590 is the answer to that one. And Jason Phelps with no need to improve. He's already in the show. Toes back to the pits. And we now catch up with a very chilled out Kevin Kent.
All the guys, they've all worked hard to get the car ready today. Didn't expect John to run what he did. Yeah. But yeah, fair play to John, you know. He did a bit of good luck. I've had a lot of luck. So, yeah, just roll on to the next one.
With this new car, Kevin has been driving it absolutely fantastic. He's taken to it like a duck to water. And for today to be his first actual race against another funny car driver, I mean, he did brilliantly, staged the car well, his reactions were good, and I mean, you can't fault him really, and I really think he's going to do really well in this series.
And so it's on to the all-important Eliminations Day.
Here on the start line at Santa Pod with your number one qualifier in Fuel Funny Car, Gordy Smith. Been a tough crowd this weekend. How's it feel to come out number one so far?
Oh, it's excellent. I'm really enjoying it this weekend. The weather's great. We're creeping up on the car and we're really happy where we're at the moment. You know, we run a 40 yesterday. We're looking to get down in the 20s today, so we're looking to go fast.
We're still learning about this. Work your baseline, get a good baseline. That's what you're working on.
The car.
Once you get the baseline, you stick with it. You know, that's the hardest part is finding that baseline. Be safe today.
Yeah, thanks.
So as we move into round one of eliminations, the Nitro Funny Cars will be running after the other FIA classes. And there's Gordon Smith and Jason Phelps taking a peek at the top fuel cars to see just how well the track is holding up. Then it's back to the cars to get suited up. Fire suits, fireproof boots, gloves and balaclavas. Then on with the helmet and the hand safety device. Check the tyre pressures once more. And then it's time to crawl into the very cramped and claustrophobic cockpit as well. That's Jason Phelps getting ready for his round one match coming up very, very shortly. So the first pair are ready to be pushed round to the starting line. Kevin Kent will also push round as he's the first reserve. If someone fails to show or fire up, he'll get the chance to race in eliminations. But it looks like both John Spuffard and Jason Phelps are going to make it out this time round. There you go, there's John and the crew moving everything into place, and they're both fired. So the race is on, round one. Fuel Funny Car at the main event. Our first pair will be that man John Spuffard. Barely got into the show last night, up against the man that was number one qualified for quite a long time. That's Jason Phelps. Jason won at the Easter Thunderball. He's currently in the points lead. Can that continue here this weekend? So the crew rolling John forward into stage. That's the man himself, Bill Sherratt, putting Jason in the beams. Time to go racing. Well, a big advantage for John Spuffard off the start line and all the way through the finish line with a nice, clean and strong run. And he takes the win, 5:44, low ET at the weekend so far. You could clearly see him get out on Jason, and unfortunately Jason goes over the centre line as well.
Bob, that's the first pretty much full run on the car. Low ET of the weekend by far, actually. Were you looking for that or a little more?
No, we were always looking for that. I mean, I still think he shut it off before the end anyway. I think Jason hit the cones anyway, but, you know, that was a great run. We had to put another motor in overnight, so we're pleased with that. We go to the final with a little confidence.
Well, the next pair, the other half of the semi-finals, Leif Hollander and Gordy Smith. The Shockwave car made a really good run in qualifying. I know the team are looking to step it up here on race day. They've had Terry Haddock over helping them out from the USA over this weekend. Far lane, Leif Hollander with the Star Cotter. Shockwave near side for Gordy Smith. On a fire underneath the car for Gordy Smith. It's going to be Leif Hollander taking the win. A really nice run as well.
John, was that the plan? Go A to B and see if you get through the round?
Yeah, because he hadn't been A to B yet today, and we found this problem with the fuel system yesterday, and we're just trying to get it to go A to B, you know, and make a run that's reasonable and respectful, and go out there and go to the final like he did earlier this year. They did it without me earlier, so I'm just trying to help him get a good baseline and make this funny car program competitive.
So no race for Kevin this time round, but it's still been a great first weekend's racing for him and the West 10 Motorsport team.
We're missing with the burnout because there was too less water there, so I think, wondering what happened now, but it seems to work without burnout, I think.
So are you feeling confident against John in the final?
Yeah, we used to run each other, so that's going to be fun.
We're not quite there yet, but we're very, very close.
So Leif seems quite confident about this final coming up. What have you got to say to that?
Well, it was me and Leif in September last, so and I'm sure he won. So we really should change change scenes over, shouldn't we?
So it's time for the drivers to roll out towards the starting line and head for the big matchup of the weekend in the Fuel Funny Cars Series. England against Sweden, Leif Hollander against John Spafford, and they even have time for a quick chat before they get suited up and booted and strapped into the cars for this final round. So, all the way from Matfors in Sweden is Leif Hollander with the Starkotter. The name actually comes from a legendary Viking around the area that he lives in Sweden. Let's hope he can live up to that in this race. And for the UK and the Showtime team, it's John Spafford, ably tuned by Bob Jarrett this weekend. The team really have finally got a handle on this race car. It's going from one end of the racetrack to the other, all the way through. Nice strong runs. Maybe not quite as quick as they'd like, but most importantly for them, it's consistent. And they managed to get to the final. The last time these two raced was at the European finals at the end of last season. And John Spafford, well, he won it. But the reason he won it was because Leif Hollander hit the wall. So you can say funny cars are unpredictable, and they definitely are indeed. So for all the marbles in round 2 of the Fuel Funny Car Series, these two against the tree at Santa Pod Raceway. Well, against the tree it was, because Leif Hollander got a whole shot on John Spafford, and he needed it as well. He takes the round 2 event win on a whole shot, 5:49 to 5:46. You can see that in replay again. The car in the right-hand lane clearly moved before the Mustang on the far side. And it's the legend from Sweden that gets the event win.
Leif, that looked like a great race from outside. What was it like in the car?
It looks great because I didn't see him before, just after I've put the shoots out, he come. So I thought maybe that was enough, because he cannot sneaking through me there, but I was the first one this time.
So a very happy Leif collects his trophy from Keith Bartlett. But overall, it's still Jason Phelps leading the points table.
Well, that just about wraps it up for a fantastic FIA main event. The Fuel Funny Cars really have been some of the stars of the show. Leif Hollander winning, even though he's in tremendous pain. What a guy. We're going to see you next time at the Hockenheimring in Germany. Please join us then.